ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Dish Yelter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Salutations, good sir.
Hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the Pliffercomer himself, Zealeus.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Thursday night show. This is Thursday Night Hangout. This is a live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during the show. At any point during the show, if you have any thoughts, comments, opinions, topics that you would like to bring up in this show, please drop them in the chat, and we'll try to add them to the we'll try to add it to the show. If we do run out of time, we will add it to the very next show, which will not be next week because family. Christmas.
Hey, we have family? What is that?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so but let's get into it. I know that we've been off for a bit. We of course we had Thanksgiving, and then my two wonderful children had band concerts on two straight Thursdays. Sons of bitches. Stupid public school system.
Games.
Bastards.
And concerts and having to do things.
Yes. Stuff that I love my children, and they played their instruments fantastically. The rest of them, I don't know. But
I will take your word for it.
Huh?
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, please.
I mean, I don't know if they played fantastically or not because I have no musical ear. But I'm assuming it was great.
Yes, Zealeus is tone deaf, and if he does attempt to do anything, it's always half a beat off. But it's funny because sometimes Zealeus is half a beat ahead or half a beat behind. So he likes to keep, you guessing. You just don't know depending on the song or depending on the verse.
You think I could just average the two and then be on beat? Nope, doesn't work.
No, it does not. Okay, so real quick, Zealeus and I were just looking this up because I thought this was just absolute crap. I didn't think that this was real, but apparently Gremlins 3 is officially in the works at Warner Brothers. They are targeting a release date of November 19th, 2027. So we got a little bit of time before it comes out. And the crazy thing is that the original writer, Chris Columbus, will be writing and directing, and Steven Spielberg will be executively producing the movie. I feel like Gremlins 1 came out, or the first Gremlins was 30 plus years ago. And then the next one was pretty much hot on their heels. So it's been a minute since we've seen a Gremlins movie. I'll be very
I remember
curious
seeing the Gremlins many years ago. But it's been many years. So I honestly don't remember anything at the Gremlins.
I love how I'm trying to type in Gremlins and I keep putting in Germlins.
What about Germanins? Gremlins.
Okay, so Gremlins 2. Gremlins, yes. Actually, yes. I think that's a different game.
Lemmings.
That's... Ooh, wait. What
now
did
we're
you
just
say?
jumping. Yeah. Lemmings.
Lemmings. Yeah, that. Gremlins 2 was released 1990, so that was 35 years ago. And Gremlins, the first Gremlins, was 1984, so that would have been 41 years ago. Holy crap! Really? Yeah. Holy crap.
You know what? It is to be a new Lemmings game also.
Oh, man. Okay, for those of you out there who don't know what Lemmings is, it's basically this game where you control these mindless characters that will just walk across the screen. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically move them from point A to point B. Sometimes you have to dig holes. Sometimes you have to add stairs. You got to change. Basically, you have to change the environment. It's a 2D platformer, I guess. It's not really, they're not jumping on platforms, but you have to basically resculpt the environment.
Yeah. It was 2D in the sense that you didn't have 3D at the time.
Right. Yes.
So in that sense, it was a platformer just because that's what was technologically available at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like a traditional platformer.
Yeah, my lemmings usually fell off a cliff and died.
Well, that's part of the fun. That's one of the old jokes of the Lemmings is would you jump off the cliff like a lemming? Well, maybe.
Yeah. So anyways, So that's apparently Gremlins 3 is apparently in the work. You know what also is still being made apparently? I didn't know. I thought that for sure at this point we had confirmed that this thing had died, but apparently Beyond Good and Evil 2
Oh,
is still a thing.
I think that's one of those games, like, we hear something about it every couple of months. It's like, there might be something and there might not be something. It's very much one of those things where, like, I'll believe it when we actually see it. Until then, it's just kind of vaporware.
Well, I mean, it was announced during Ubi days back in
Like
2008. So
2008,
yeah, 2008.
that was many years ago.
That was many, many, many years ago.
I don't want to count how many years it was because it just depresses me.
That would have been 15 years ago. No, 17 years ago. Oh my God, I can't do math.
Bastard.
I know. So yeah, it's still apparently in production. Apparently, if you go to, apparently, I'm going to say apparently a lot during this show. Someone went on the Ubisoft hiring website and noticed that there is a job posting to work on the Beyond Good and Evil 2 project. So, still a thing. Still a thing.
I don't think it's ever going to come out.
No, I don't think so either.
Maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong.
That first game was phantasmal, fantastic, and amazing, and wonderful. It was something different. You never really saw anything like it, and now I don't even know where it's been so long, because the original Beyond Good and Evil, I believe, was 2005. So it's been 20 years since the original came out. And I just don't, are we still doing the same characters? Are we doing the same type of mechanics? Or are we throwing the mechanics that made it awesome completely, out the door going, well, technology being where it is, we could do so much more sophisticated crap. And so let's ruin the game for everyone. Like, my favorite one is Dead Cells 3, where let's just remove horror completely from it. We'll turn on all the lights, no scare stuff. Yeah, we'll have a couple like monsters climbing on the walls, but you could see them from miles away. Oh yeah, it'll sell real well. No, I'm not bitter at all about that game.
For a wider audience from my initial surveys to all the people.
What's wrong with just keeping with your core audience? The core audience likes it. They're going to tell their friends. That's how your audience grows. You cater to the masses, not let's just do, this it could possibly generic work for a lot of people, could be cool. That doesn't usually pan out all that well.
Yeah.
Anywho. All right. So, the next topic I'm going to bring up, because we've been off for 3 weeks, this one has an update, and I'm very excited about the update. But first off, Amazon decided to quietly put in this beta AI software that did English dubbing for a selection of their anime. And let me be the first to say it was god awful. I mean, there was no emotion. It was like, yes, did the character sound differently?
No, it was beta though, so it was okay to be terrible.
Oh, for God's sakes, no.
No.
So, so they did this, and as some fandoms will do, they rose up or like, this is bullshit. You gotta put a stop to this. And thankfully, Amazon has completely removed that AI English anime dub after such a severe backlash from the consumer, the masses. And then it also turns out that another reason why Amazon had to quickly remove this feature is because the companies that were allowing Amazon to have those animes did not give Amazon the okay to put their own dub version on it, because apparently some of the animes that Amazon was doing their AI, the beta AI um, dubbing on, already had an English dub. And so Amazon was dropping that one and then making their own, which is apparently a big no-no.
You know what? I feel like dubbing is unethical anyways, because it's taking away jobs from people doing subs of voice acting. So you're actually taking away from the voice actors by using dubs in the first place.
Well, I mean, you're catering. Okay, so
I'm just saying. So, like, I actually don't have an issue with AI subbing at all. Like, or dubbing. Dubbing's the one where it's written, right?
sub is written, subtitles.
Okay, sorry. So subtitles are the one where it's like written on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
I think I totally reversed my terms.
Yes.
Like, if it was actually subbed AI, I really don't have an issue with that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what
I was getting my
YouTube
dubbing
uses
mixed
and
up.
what Facebook uses as well.
Oh, okay. So here's my problem with subbing on AI is it's shit. Because
absolutely.
most of the time I hear is for music videos. Because like, I have no idea what the words to say. Or it's like I'm close, but don't actually know the exact lyric. And you turn on subbing, I'm like, you know what? My terrible ear for music is better at interpreting this lyrics than you are AI subbing, so you are going off.
Oh no, if it's a song, I immediately just type into Google lyrics for the following song, because I don't want AI's interpretation. Because the other thing is, fun fact, not everyone talks with a Midwestern accent.
That's disappointing.
Yes, and so certain words are pronounced differently depending on where you live in the world, and then having AI basically go, yeah, I think this what they're saying is this word.
I do appreciate it though when artists, or I guess publishers, actually put the actual subtitle lyrics with a song.
Yes.
It's not common, but every once in a while, I'll be like, yes, I can turn on the subtitles for this song.
Yeah. So, anyways, yay, AI dubbing for Amazon went into the toilet.
AI dubbing, I'm sure, was absolutely terrible. I have no doubt of that.
Bad. Oh, it's so bad. It's like this dude interacted with this girl, completely flat delivery, no emotion. The guy is basically I don't even remember what the anime was, but the guy is basically sprinting down the street. He's late for a meeting. Oh no, I'm gonna be late for another meeting. I'm gonna be in so much trouble. You know, if you're sprinting, you're not talking like a robot. You know, oh no.
Okay, so what do you think the odds are that, like, say, 10 years from now, AI dubbing will be back and we won't even notice the difference? Like, I'm not saying we know because somebody said something, but from a purely auditory perspective, do you think it's going to happen anyways?
I mean, maybe. I think by the time, hopefully, fingers crossed, that by the time that the AI dubbing advances this much, that it's not an automatic thing. Like the IP owner will have to completely sign off on it. Not a third party platform. Because for me, look, if you get the dubbing right, it would be, I think, as long as the individual is okay with it, to have some of these like TED Talks or educational lectures and have subtitle is phenomenal, but sometimes, you're just trying to, I don't know, go back over something, and it would be easier if there was like a dubbed version of something very interesting and important instead of having to read the subs. Because people that have ADHD may have, maybe like, okay, I'm reading. Oh, look, shiny object. What was that? Oh, it's the cat. What did I do my laundry? Did I brush my teeth? Someone at the door?
I hope you brushed your teeth.
I
hope you brushed your teeth.
I do.
And the cat's teeth.
Fuck no. I do. I do.
Wow.
I learned the hard way to about animal hygiene. I let professionals do that. I like all of my digits.
You don't like losing appendages in the fight?
Look, I'm putting myself in enough danger just trying to bathe said animals. I'm not going to put my hands in their mouth. That's just asking for it.
It's a very precarious position to be in, for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Next topic. And this one pisses me off beyond belief because I was so excited about this. There was in the works at one point, there was an R-rated live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie based off of the graphic novel called The Last Ronin, which was fucking phenomenal. And they've canned it, and they're going to make another just regular Ninja Turtle project. I think it might be live action again, so like old school, not the CGI stuff we've had like 7 reboots of as of late.
I want the Secret of the Ooze.
You want to redo The Secret of the Ooze?
Well, that style.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze, and what was the third one? Something about.
But only if we get a cameo from Vanilla Ice.
Huh?
We're gonna get a cameo from Vanilla Ice.
Ninja, rap. Yes.
Go, Ninja, go! Go, Ninja, go!
Exactly.
It actually helped the movie, though.
I know.
Like, it's a very unique thing. It doesn't work in all movies, obviously. But Ninja Turtles, having Vanilla Ice do his Go Ninja Go stick actually worked.
And they it was good. Yeah,
It was fun. It was fun for what it was.
Damn it! Now I gotta look up to see what was the third movie called.
Turtles in Time, or was that the video game?
It was something.
Was it Return of the Ooze?
After about the. Wow, I cannot spell. And let's see here. Oh my gosh! Come on, guys. What the hell?
Is that really 1991? Damn.
Okay, it was called.
The actress. I think this was called TMNT 3.
I thought there was like a. I guess it was.
I'm seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze,
and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. I thought it was like Secret of the Scrolls or Time Scroll or something.
There's probably another one, probably somewhere that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, well, get that as well. I don't know. Anywho, there's going to be another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie. They are going to. This one is going to be set to release on November 17th, 2028.
Nice.
So apparently, all of the big franchises are trying to make a strong comeback in 27 and 28.
Of course.
Okay. Do I want to talk about that right now? Yeah, we'll talk about it. Why not?
Let's do it. I don't know what it is, but let's do it.
Okay. So there has been a recent uptick in, I guess, I don't even know, like angry fan critics.
Wait, I'm angry. Do I count?
Huh?
Do I count as being angry because I'm angry?
Possibly. I don't know. So,
okay.
You remember? I think the last show we actually did, we had to talk about the unfortunate death of a cosplayer who was bullied because of the color of her skin, as she was cosplaying characters that in the anime were not the same color.
Make me angry that people were actually bullying over that, or for any reason for that matter, is complete bullshit. But yes, I do remember that.
So apparently, there's some high and mighty individuals out there who are starting to grab their pitchforks about something slightly different, and that is that
Okay.
they're like, look, let's just put this out there. Cosplay, no matter what your age, gender, nationality is, cosplay is your
Yeah.
favorite character. That's awesome. Where a lot of
Okay.
people are now drawing this weird ass line is when you take an anime character and you do like fan art of it, but for a different race. Like, what is wrong with you people? It like there's this reimagining is what was it? Cultural appropriation. Uh, I'm like, no, just it's oh my god, people are dumb.
Just let people enjoy their fandoms because there's this beautiful thing. If you see it and you don't like it, and the person's not like intentionally being like disrespectful about it,
Yeah,
just ignore and move on.
yeah.
It's really not that hard.
It's so
Um,
it's crazy,
yeah, yeah, it's people will find things to basically be offended about.
Yeah,
And then make a big to do about it. And sometimes you just have to move on with life.
it's okay. I
Yeah.
mean, people are allowed to visualize things differently. I mean, that's the beauty of fandom.
Yeah. Oh, people just take life too seriously. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the fact that people are enjoying life. How's that?
That's just too difficult for people to understand. Zealeus, of course, obviously, it's got to be there's got to be something, more complicated that we've got to have like 30 bajillion steps for. Sorry, I'm
Now I'm
trying to
just
move
thinking
shit
of
around my desk because I've trapped a drawer that I have something in while I'm talking.
nice.
So I promise I'm okay.
How are you on a scale of 1 to 18?
Huh?
Nothing. I was just asking how okay you are on a scale of 1 to 18.
I'll be fully honest with you. I am so freaking congested, and I've got like what do you call it? Cold head. So my brain is kind of like sloshing around a little bit, which I'm sure you've all noticed
Splashy
because of
brain.
my beautiful, sexy, extra deep voice today, and the fact that
Oh dear.
my I can't pronounce certain words or I'm making up words, which I think I already do on the regular, but whatever.
You gotta alter that confusion.
Yeah, buddy. That's what you do. It's what you do. All right. Now, we are now, firmly in the mid of December, and there is a couple of games on Steam that have unfortunately come to an end. And the real unfortunate thing is that it's all early access. Um, This is one of the pitfalls of supporting early access is that you have to understand that this game may never actually come to fruition. There may not be a complete gold release, a complete
Kind of like
game,
kickstarting.
kind of like a Kickstarter. Yeah, still waiting on that game that I kickstarted back in I think 2007. Anyways,
Just keep on waiting.
yeah, exactly. All right, so there's a couple games that looked really cool, had a lot of fan hype and support for that are now DOA.
Oh
And one of
no.
them is called Goddess, which is Godus. It it was a god game that kind of I don't know how to best describe it. You evolve civilizations. There's player-driven outcomes, and the really cool thing about this was, and that got everyone excited, was the fact that the updates were shaped by community input to make the game exactly what people wanted. But unfortunately, I'm assuming that the one of the other dangers is, especially for early access, a lot of games that are in early access are for smaller studios or maybe just
Yeah.
people who are doing it on the side. And as the economy in the world is the way that it is today, they may have had to move on to more to different projects. And of course, when they have to change their focus, the game doesn't, it loses steam, and you lose some of the player base because now no one's talking to each other. And yeah, so Goddess is dead. Another game that I actually really wanted to kind of see was a game called Fault Elder Orb, which was kind of a Paragon-inspired MOBA.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It is now completely kaputsies as well. It was a third-person MOBA game with that was, yeah, I think they're using open source assets. It looks pretty sweet, but looks can be deceiving, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna be first one to tell you that. Oh Lord. And there's another one that we've talked about because it was misleading from the very beginning, and I don't even know why this is on this list, but it is the game called The Day Before, which was supposed to be a large-scale MMO, huh?
I remember talking about that one months ago.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a large-scale MMO with both PvP and PvE, and it didn't have, like, anything.
Wasn't there like a bunch of controversy or something for something?
Yes. A lot of people thought that it was going to be more like the combination of the games The Division and The Last of Us. There was like tons of tense gunfights in the gameplay videos, and it's supposed to be this like multiplayer that's going to drive everyone nuts. And then the game was virtually unrecognizable when it was actually released into early access.
I vaguely remember talking about it.
Yeah.
It's more than a week ago, so it's hard to know for sure.
Yeah. Actually, looking back at this list now, a lot of them have MMO attached to it. MMOs are not cheap to make. I
see a lot of my YouTube feeds because I do follow MMOs on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's basically kind of like you're saying right now, the big topic is basically the almost the death of MMOs or death of new MMOs.
Yeah.
Whereas nobody's willing to really invest, or there have been ones that have been canceled that look promising.
Mm-hmm.
And the tricky part too is like, so you'll have like the newest early access big one with the Ashes of Creation.
Mm-hmm.
But like when the developer is saying it costs like $80,000 a week just to maintain the servers and everything.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take long to burn through cash. Like at least with a single player game or even a multiplayer non-MMO, that kind of infrastructure is going to be significantly less.
Right.
So it's just, there's a lot of freaking cost that go into MMOs that aren't necessarily present in other games. MMOs are very, unfortunately, they're hard to make well, and you also need a large player base, and you also still need to be able to pull players away. So, like, players will switch between, like, single-player game, right? They'll play Final Fantasy VII and Remake, and then they'll go on and play Baldur's Gate, and then they'll go on and play, like, another, like, RPG, right?
Uh-huh.
Whereas typically, like, they'll maybe swap between one or two MMOs, but because they're meant to continuously have content come out,
right?
You kind of stick to that MMO, and they might play another single player game, but they're not necessarily going to be jumping. They might be jumping between like Final Fantasy 14 and Guild Wars 2, but they're not going to jump to this next one, and this next one, and this next one.
Yep.
Because they're meant to be played kind of indefinitely in a way, I guess you could say. So, yeah, it's hard to break into the MMO genre. It just is. And, yeah, it's unfortunate because developers are more and more hesitant than ever to put a lot of assets into MMOs.
Well, and this is both like a huge pitfall, but also something that a lot of developers like to throw in there when they're coming up with their brand new MMO idea, and that is player-driven action, where
Sandbox. Yep.
yeah, what the player, how
That's
the
the
players
term.
interact in the
Sandboxy.
environment will affect the overall world, which is phenomenal. However, it's really hard to do, one, and two, you have to have a shit ton of players for it to actually work. If it's only like a couple hundred people and it's humongous, massive world, their actions do nothing.
It's an interesting concept, but as you put it, it's hard to pull off. So when New World first came out,
Yeah.
it was an interesting, cool concept because New World when it first came out was much more PvP centric than it is now. And the idea is basically you had three factions. And the leading faction would basically then be able to set, I'm trying to remember because it's been years since it first came out, obviously. Before I remember, they could basically set like levies and taxes on towns to actually trade and do things. And if you're part of that faction, it was less. You got like a discount.
Mm-hmm.
So another what happened is like if the green faction, they had a name, I don't know what it is now, but if it was like if the green faction was green, yellow, and I can't remember the third one now. But like, so if that green faction was the overall winning faction, it was almost like this snowball effect.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, wait, I get a discount for being in the green faction. Well, by golly, I'm going to go join the green faction so I can pay less for all my shit.
Yep.
So like, the concept was really cool, honestly, I thought. But just actually executing the sandbox MMOs, we call it's really hard. And I'd say really still the most successful to this day is EVE Online. But EVE Online's player base in comparison to every other popular MMO, like they dwarf EVE Online. It's 100% still a niche MMO.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the difference is like it's CCP Publishing, if I remember right, is the CCP, publisher of it. CCP, yeah, it's like they understand that. Like they know that's kind of their niche genre.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody like a Blizzard or Square Enix probably would have shut it down years ago because, you know, in this grand scheme of publicly traded companies, it's just not enough money. So they were able to still keep EVE Online going, whereas any other publisher would have shut it down.
Yeah.
So, and I think the other thing you see too, big time in MMOs, is it's also the gacha gaming. So, like, you know, you got like Hour of Fantasy. The one that just came out was Blue Protocol Fantasy Star, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Fantasy Star Online's a different one. And obviously you have the Hoyoverse ones. So like that's the other. It's like those Korean, Eastern, Asian style MMOs.
Yep.
Yeah. It's which sucks because I love MMOs. That's, as you know, that's most of the genres I play. I play a lot of MMOs, but like I keep on going back to it myself. World War II, Final Fantasy 14, which have been around for forever.
And then I personally continue not to play MMOs. I mean, I might dip my toe once in a blue moon, but then I'm like, no.
Wait, you can go back to Defiance.
I know.
I'm just saying, it's not a private server thing. It's actually the real game is back.
I know. And hey, but here's the other thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were to make an early access MMO, understand one simple thing. You are never, ever, ever, ever going to be able to pull the wool over so many people's eyes like the individuals behind Star Citizen, who's still 12 years later in early access, and they have somehow stupidly raised over $900 million, and they still have nowhere clue to a complete game.
Isn't that kind of the definition of pulling the wool over people's eyes?
Yeah. At some point, I'm going to reinstall it on my computer just to see if I could do more than just look at my hangar with my one ship and look at my locker for a couple of digital tchotchke gifts I have.
Well, they keep on releasing content for the game. I don't actually know if it does anything useful.
Yeah, I know. I don't think so.
Well, if you have to buy it with more skin type of shit, but they do keep on releasing content. I know that because I see posts. It's kind of the same thing with what was that other Star Citizen and No Man's Sky? Yeah,
No Man's Sky
No Man's
was
Sky.
that
But
was
they keep on
they were
releasing
supposed to
content
have
too.
multiplayer. It never technically was an MMO per se. It
It
was
was
like
never
instance,
marketed as MMO though,
huh?
was it? I don't think No Man's Sky was ever really marketed as
Well,
MMO
they
though.
said like big um like multiplayer adventures that you could go on, like but there's a bajillion, thousand, quadrillion planets out there, so you barely saw anybody. The only time that you actually saw anyone was when you went to I can't remember the name of the hub, but there's a hub that you could base. There's this space station that you can call from anywhere, and it will appear, and then you see other people, there, and then you could select like an instance mission of collect 20 random purple fruit things off of a frozen planet, and then uh, you know you can, if you needed help. I never needed help. I think I only played with another person once in the oh god,
Hmm.
I'm scared to see how many hours I put into No Man's Sky.
Of course, and the other recent one is also you have Dune Awakening, which had about 6 months ago a peak player base of 190,000, just a shade under.
Yeah.
And now in this last week, the peak player count is 6,600. And I think and the reason I never installed it, or bought it, I guess you would say, is because it's a survival MMO,
Oh, I can't do it. Oh god, I can't handle it.
which are their own niche products. And there are some successful ones, but I also think if you look, you kind of know what you're getting into. Although I guess now the big genre now is the extraction shooter type of games, like Arc, whatever. You had Warhammer 40K, where yeah, I don't know. Which Arc is supposed to be really good. I haven't played it, um, but those are good, and I think it's because the hard part about survival games, it is very easy, I think, to leave a sour taste in the player's mouth, right?
Yes.
It doesn't take much to like, oh, I built this really cool structure that took me 70 hours to build, and then I spent a half hours destroyed.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like in a survival, or not in a survival, in an extraction shooter game, maybe you spend, I don't know how long the missions take, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Okay, if you don't do well in that one, okay, you pull up another one.
Right.
In a way, it's kind of probably why like all the PUBG type of games work, right? Is because kind of the same concept. Like, okay, you're 1 out of 100, you lose in the first 5 minutes, boom, you pull up another game.
Yeah.
Like when I played Overwatch, okay, we lost a match in 10 minutes, boom, we move on to the other one, right?
Yep.
Versus Dune Awakening, you lose your stuff. That's probably not a fun feeling to have.
Yeah.
Which I just never played them in the. I knew the game sounded interesting, but I just knew I'd be pissed off and stop playing.
Just so everyone knows, I did put in over 291 hours into No Man's Sky, and like I said, I only did a single mission with an extra person. Otherwise,
Nice.
I completed everything by myself.
There you go.
So,
is it a game with the additional content you would ever boot up again?
I did. I actually did, and that's why I'm at 291, because I've actually played all the way through at least twice, maybe thrice. Because there was this weird. They added fishing into it, and they did like I think it's like the first 20 days of fishing, you could get like special gear if you like pulled in these sweet fish from the ocean on different planets. So I did go back for that, but other than
That's
that,
crazy. So I'm randomly looking at the most like the concurrent players for Steam.
Uh-huh.
And it is kind of interesting when you look and you see a game like I'm just looking kind of at the top 50 that's still in it, like Terraria.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's an old game.
Yep.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Left 4 Dead 2. Really?
Yep.
So it's just kind of interesting to see when you still see some of these games. The Sims 4.
Well, it's because
damn.
The Sims went free to play.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Elder Scrolls 5. That's still popular.
Which one was that? Skyrim?
I don't know. I don't like Elder Scrolls because we all know I hate open world games. So it's kind of interesting to see how, like, you look through obviously a lot of these are newer games, which absolutely makes sense. But we kind of see games that have been out for years, and you could easily say stood the test of time.
Terraria came out in 2011, by the way.
What's that? Sorry?
Terraria came out in 2011.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Geometry Dash is number 12 right now.
Yeah, why not?
Ridiculous. 2014. My favorite one, though, because I have it playing right now, is at number 3 is Wallpaper Engine. Which makes sense, because guess what? I have to have it played to have my fancy wallpapers.
Woo!
That just kind of humorous to me. With number 1 being Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah.
Man, that was way too sweaty of a game for me to play. One thing I've been curious about.
What's that?
I don't know if I'd like it or not.
Huh.
Is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Because it's like RPGs, which I like, but it's like open world, I think. So I'm like, I don't know. Apparently it's amazing. So it's just kind of intriguing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I have a 93.45% rating on Steam, which is pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
What do we know? What do we know?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause real quick to thank the individuals who help Alter Confusion be the Alter Confusion that you love and adore, and that, of course, is the friends of the show. So let's start off with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts that challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to do is to the AV master himself, and that, of course, is Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously Whack Kid 47 Media. It's your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. The next shout out we got to give is to an individual who can help get all those aches and pains out of your body from long days gaming and sitting in front of your computer. And that, of course, is Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic's unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone could be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the Music Maestro, and that, of course, is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding strategy or full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Alter Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions and CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he could do for you. And finally, the last shout out we got to give is to the original backer on Patreon for Alter Confusion. That, of course, is Agile Axiom. By day, Ax leads both a development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings, so many times during, he is the Agile evangelist, Agile Ax, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information, go to agileaxiom.com. And I apologize for flubbing some of that stuff, but my sinuses have decided to just clog up, and so I'm having a very hard time breathing through my mouth while talking, so I'm gasping for breath.
Darn you breathing!
Damn you! So inconsiderate.
Why must we breathe?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are dying to know, how do I become a friend of the show of Alter Confusion? Well, it's quite simple. Ladies and gentlemen, Alter Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, werewolves, vampires, swamp creatures, mummies, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. There currently is 2 tiers that you can pledge at. There's the $1 a month tier. It's $1 a month or $12 a year. And what you get at that is early access to all of our playthroughs, which I could tell you, one of the playthroughs that is, it's going to either be a game called Dark City Kiev or the Halloween Story game.
There might be another option in your Steam list now. I'm just letting you know.
Yes. I don't know if I'll do an early access playthrough of that game, but I'll definitely be streaming that game. Zealeus is alluding to the fact that he snuck a game, gifted a game to me, which thank you very much, Zealeus, for the game that I've had on my wish list for, I guess, a year now. So
You're welcome. Well, it does happen to be the treacherous evil time known as the Steam Winter Sale.
Yes. This is why I'm not looking at the Steam homepage. Anyways, okay. So Patreon, if you're feeling a little frisky, you could jump it up to $5 a month. That's $5 a month or $60 a year. Not only do you get everything at the $1 tier, but you get your name or organization added to the Friends of the Show section of every single Thursday night hangout. So if you want to become a patron of Altered Confusion, go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Altered Confusion today. Okay. One more.
32 speaking like a human.
I'm trying. Hold on. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that we are past the beginning of November, and of course that's when we did our 24-hour Gameathon, but Alter Confusion is still very much proud that we have completed the 24-hour Gameathon for Extra Life for 14 years straight. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact to the lives of the kids they treat. So you still have time before the new year. So if you have the capacity, please go to and donate to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion.
Lots of good stuff, sir.
Also, it may not be able to get to you in time, but if you're looking for maybe like a belated Christmas gift or holiday gift, there's always the Alter Confusion hat, coffee mug, the brilliant vinyl sticker, and of course the beanie, which I had down here until I had to wear it this morning, and so it's no longer down here. But you can get all of that at alteredconfusion.tv/merch. There's actually more than just those items, but those are the items that I usually have on hand. Okay.
Many good choices. You know what we need? We need an Ultra Confusion bourbon.
Alter Confusion bourbon. Well, that's a little harder to do, Zealeus. I
I
think
mean,
we'd
this
have
does.
more luck trying to make an Alter Confusion branded beer than bourbon.
This does ultimate confusion. Ultimate confusion. Ultimate confusion.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. How about we just try to go for? I would love to get some like Alter Confusion, whiskey glasses.
Is that what I just said?
No, you said actual bourbon, like the
Oh no,
liquid
no, no!
in
I
it.
didn't mean like. No, I mean like. Okay, I see it. But I mean the actual glass for Ultra Confusion, not
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely.
actual. Yeah. No, you're right. That would be a little bit harder.
All right, let's talk about something that's pretty cool, and if it actually happens, I hope
Wait,
that.
cool news on the show.
Huh?
Good news.
Yeah.
We actually have some
I
good, cool, happy news.
I hope that all of the countries around the world adopt this. Denmark is introducing a proposal that would give citizens of the country of Denmark copyright style rights over their face, voice, and body. What this means is that any unauthorized use of a person's likeness could be challenged legally. It is designed to target the growing risk of deepfakes and artificial intelligent technology, basically utilizing your stuff as sample material. If I would be totally down for this.
I mean, it kind of is like, the first part of our Constitution is that land of like inalienable rights of, people.
Yeah.
Kind of like an extension of that, my, copyrighted face and voice and etc. makes perfect sense that belongs to me and not some AI conglomerate who just happens to overhear it instead.
Right.
So I fully support it. My question would be though, because at least I don't know, how their courts work, but the big issue, at least in American courts, is not just are you in the right, but do you also then have the financial capital to also support your claim in the courts in the first place?
Yes, because if you're going after a big company, the big company is just going to ask for extension after extension until you run out of money.
Exactly. So I fully support the concept. Like, it makes perfect sense. And furthermore, like, I would also go as far as saying, like, artists, their voice should also belong to them. And I know, like, at Disney, it's like, oh no, they're there for us, therefore it belongs to us.
I think you're just going to have
I think it goes both ways. Like, okay, let's just say I'm an actor and I do a voice for, a Aladdin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I probably shouldn't go and make my own Aladdin movie making my own voice.
Right.
Okay? That doesn't seem unreasonable, but it also doesn't mean, by the same token, then, that Aladdin 2, that Disney and I can now use my AI-generated voice for a tenth of the price to then be able to play Aladdin 2.
Well, we're already seeing it, but there's a lot of actors out there who are putting stipulations into the contracts when they sign on to films, especially animated films, that their voice, if they're voicing this character is going to utilize their voice for however long the contract is. If they signed a 3-movie contract, then all of that character's lines is that person's actual voice and not someone going in going, well, shoot, we need this extra line, so we'll just not pay the actor to say this line. We'll just do it with AI for free.
And I totally realize that, depending on how the contracts are written up, it could be different. But I fully believe that regardless of how the contract is, so in your case, you write the contract for 3, and this, continuation of Aladdin 3 now, even though the contract only maybe said Aladdin 1 through 3, kind of going back to the last country you mentioned that this is coming from?
Denmark.
Thank you. From Denmark, is therefore Aladdin 4, they should not also then be able to use my AI regenerated voice. They can bring in a different voice actor, sure, but they shouldn't be able to reuse my voice using AI to create that movie by the same token.
Ooh, see, now that would be interesting law.
I don't think that should, like, because it's using my voice. Now, if you use a
Right.
different voice, even AI generated, fans might not like it, but I'm ethically okay with that.
Well, I mean, look, if you got a great example, and this is two completely live voice actors. The Toy Story movies. Tim Allen, of course, is Buzz Lightyear. However, they did a Buzz Lightyear cartoon show, and it wasn't Tim Allen; it was Patrick Warburton who did the voice for all of Buzz Lightyear. And that I am total agreement. Keep it with live people. Don't just
that I'm okay. Again, you're right. That I have no issue with because you're using an actual person.
I don't want them to like relaunch another animated Aladdin movie and the genie is AI. Robin Williams, rest in peace.
What? I am okay. It doesn't mean I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But ethically, I'm okay, honestly, if they use AI not using Robin Williams' voice.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't mean I'm going to watch it. I might not watch it because of that fact.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, I guess that's the demarcation. That, okay, it's not Robin Williams' voice, and it's obvious it's not his voice. It's not like, a 0.1 degree freedom of separation. It's like, it's definitely not his voice. Then I'm just kind of like, okay, like, I don't necessarily... I think it's still... I still don't like it because it's taking people's jobs, but I also don't think that there should necessarily be like a law or anything illegal about that.
Right.
It's kind of where I teeter on that. Whereas I do think if they just want to use Robin Williams' voice, I do think that should actually be like illegal.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I draw the line. But at some point, I don't think it's... I don't like companies using AI voices, but I also don't think like they shouldn't not be allowed to, as long as it's not like we're using somebody's voice, which then you get into the murky gray area. Well, you have to train using people's voices, and you get the whole thing where basically like Google has like actually pirated every book in the existence of mankind, and we're like, we know what you're talking about. Because you have to train AI on something.
Right.
Is kind of how it works.
I agree. I don't want AI to steal actual people's stuff.
No, I definitely don't, and I hope it doesn't. But cynically, I worry that's where we're headed towards. Maybe not tomorrow, but like, I'm convinced that at some point it's going to be where we're at with voice acting.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. But I think especially for video games, I think that's where it's going to end up.
All right. Speaking of Hollywood, there was a question that was put into the our Discord channel for Thursday Night Hangout Topics, and that was, should it be a requirement for actors or actresses to have read or played the source material for the project that they are a part of?
I mean, considering the fact that directors have come out and been proud of the fact that they have not read and they actually intentionally discard the source material, I'm pretty ambivalent, honestly. Like I said, when it comes to the director or the producers, 100% yes. Yeah. I do think they should. A good example is, so I'm actually listening. So Lord of the Rings, I read it many years.
Uh-oh. Do we lose Zealeus? I think we might have lost Zealeus.
Ago. But I'm now listening to an audiobook while I'm driving. And it's kind of fascinating actually going back and forth between like what is in the audiobook versus what was left out in the movies.
And we lost them again.
But Peter Jackson was very intentional about why he left out certain things like Tom Bombadil and the elven guy whose name I'm now forgetting. Stood and respected the source material as that director. So, which is what it should be, like 100%, because then in the end, it kept pretty freaking true to the story. Even though, yes, he, for the obvious example in recent memory is The Witcher, where the producers and directors have been very blunt that basically they don't give a shit about the source material.
That's why they lost Henry Cavill.
Yeah, and I'm somebody who's never really honestly got into the Witcher games. I didn't read the Witcher books. So, like, I actually enjoyed. Was it season 3 the most recent one or season 4? I've actually lost track now.
I can't remember now. I don't know. It is
Subpar compared to Capital, but what do you do? So, for the actors and actresses, no, I'm okay
there's
with
four
that.
now. Liam Hemsworth.
Thank you, Liam
is
Hemsworth.
4.
Yes, thank you. So, like Liam Hemsworth, he obviously was not Cavill. He did an okay job. Okay, 6 out of 10, sure. That's as much as I'll give him. But the story I thought was actually really good. Whether or not it follows The Witcher, I have no freaking idea.
Yeah.
But still, the thing though is, even though I don't know if it actually followed The Witcher story or canon, whatever it is, I don't know if the video games are considered canon, is it was obviously still set in that universe. Like, you still had Witchers, you still had like the sorcery things going on, you still had the conflict of good and evil, you still had like, Cersei and Yennefer, and obviously Geralt doing their thing. So it still had all the trappings, as far as I'm concerned, of The Witcher.
Right.
I think where it honestly gets more tricky, and this is 100% a Western thing for me to say, is it's books that have been like in our top 100 published books, right? Let's be honest. Most U.S. people have not read The Witcher. They haven't. So as far as not following the books, and from what I understand, the book order, like chronologically, is pretty wacky anyways.
I've read some of the books and trying to figure out what's chronologically next is the reason why I've only read like 2 or 3 of the books, because
well, the first season of The Witcher,
yeah.
I was like, what the actual hell is going on?
Yeah.
And which easily could have been solved to just use freaking date subtitles. That's all they need to do. But like, I didn't realize they were jumping back and forth in timelines until like my second watch through. But anyways, so like, I think a very salient current example would be Harry Potter. The books, we can argue whether or not the books followed the movies well enough or not.
You mean did the movies follow the books?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Yes. Did the movies follow the books?
Yeah.
They didn't. Okay. But I think the movies came out soon enough after the books, which it's going to sound a little oxymoronic, where we could get away with the little deviations here and there where not everyone had read the books. But now, both the books and movies have been out for so long, where now people have like read the books 10 times and seen the movies 10 times also, where I'm very curious to see how the HBO, soon to be maybe Paramount, soon to maybe Netflix, soon to be who the hell knows.
Yeah, I don't know.
TV series does, because I feel like the very first reaction is it's not going to be how good is it, how is the acting. Is this going to be, what is the difference between both the movie and the books? Is going to, I think, be the very first reaction to the TV show.
Right.
And it's going to be picked apart in that regard because it has been out so long. And I honestly don't know if there's a winning situation, because some things in books just don't translate well to movies.
Right.
Which is fine. But people are going to be like, oh, it didn't have this one scene in the books. So I'm curious to see how that goes.
Okay. My 2 cents, real quick. If it's a movie, as much as it pains me, I understand that for like, to keep everything going sometimes you got to drop certain characters or certain scenes in order for the movie to kind of make sense. When you're doing a TV show, my tolerance for like dropping out, in my opinion, you know, what could potentially be something very, very relevant in like book one, because technically overall this character kind of disappears after book 4, so why the hell would we include him in the beginning if we're trying to do all 7 books? My tolerance for chopping shit out for a TV series is much shorter. I would like for I would definitely want the writers and directors to know what the hell the source material is. I know that sometimes it's that the pretty number that's on the contract, and they'll be, oh yeah, and then, it makes my skin crawl when I hear, oh, it's my own reimagining of the source material, and then it's so far off. You're like, what the phooey?
So what's it? So 2. I don't know if you read them, but kind of classic fantasy series that failed epically. One was Sword of Truth, and the other was not Real Time, because that's a big one, but it's Sword of Truth, and then there was Shannara. I think that's just what they called the TV show, was Shannara.
Oh, Shannara! What that? I mean, first of all, as soon as Shannara was shown on MTV,
yes. What was interesting is both of them were intentional about saying like, "Oh, we're intentionally not like following the books." Like they had the characters and the trappings of it, but they're very intentional. It was like a reimagining of the series.
Well, okay,
which was interesting because they both like then lost the audience of the core books, and at the same time, like. Getting fantasy audience is hard on TV. It just is. So we kind of lost both at the same time when they both tried to do that.
So a TV series that did succeed with basically changing a huge chunk of the actual books. There was the sci-fi series called The Magicians. From my understanding, basically all the seasons took place at the school and their lives and their little adventures.
Really?
I think so.
That is not the TV series. Good Lord.
Okay, never mind then, because I didn't even. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I was under the impression that I was still at the school, and I gave up because the book literally goes, they were at school. Okay, now let's talk about the fact that they left school.
I mean, there was shit at the school, but like. There's always the school, I guess, in the background, but like,
well, the school was completely kaputzi after like chapter 2.
Sorry, I did one more time.
I said that the school was like an afterthought almost immediately in the actual book series.
I mean, the TV series. It's been a while since I watched it because I stopped watching after a certain point because it just got something. I think season 3 is when I stopped watching, and got to the. I mean, the school is always there, but it wasn't really in the forefront.
Gotcha.
It was there. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know why. Once again, it's probably my very congested, cold head, brain, whatever. But can I just say the one freaking thing that I hate about, and it will make me stop watching a show immediately, is the fucking like redo rewind bullshit. Like they get to it, you get into the story, then all of a sudden someone hits something happens, and it basically just starts from where episode 1 was, and then it goes in a different direction. I don't like that at all. There was an anime series that I watched that literally they had, I think it was like 3 different flavors of it. And every single one had the exact same group of kids or students thrown into a parallel world, but the bad guy would, in one of the series, would be like a good guy in the next one. So they just basically rotated the jobs of the characters or something else. I don't want to watch that.
So, what do you feel about standalone Groundhog Day episodes and TV shows?
That I'm fine because it's compartmentalized into that one thing. And then of course, I actually like ironically I like the movie Groundhog Day. But
There you go.
because I am of the opinion that the guy who says hello to Bill Murray's character every single morning is actually the devil. That conspiracy theory, I really like that one.
Of
but-
course, you're into the conspiracy theory of it. Yes, that makes total sense.
That's why I think I could tolerate it. But if, like, for example,
Okay.
the Umbrella Academy, which I think I don't know if it's spoilers. We're far enough removed. But when they did that time reset, I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
I refused to watch it again. There's a couple of animes that are always at the top of the list, and one of the key features is this guy keeps dying, and it keeps resetting to the day that he was there. Or there's another anime series where he will do a bunch of shit to try to save these people, and when he dies, he comes back. But this time, it's like an additional couple days before, so he got some more time. I'm like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
You know, I also haven't thought about it a lot, but like Riverdale, total CW show, does the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And now that I'm thinking about it, where I actually stopped watching it was right after that happened. Because you're right, there was like a period, like there was an event in the show where like it does the time reset, and yeah, because I guess in that show I'm like, wait, I have to go through like all the characters learning who they are and like relationships and all that again. I've seen all this, so I kind of stopped watching at that point. So yeah, I never thought about it, but you're right. I hate that trope now. Damn it.
I'm sorry. I'm ruining it for everybody. But no, honestly, look. Usually, with especially with Umbrella Academy, I was all in on that storyline. And when they did the time reset, I'm like, no.
Yep.
So, anyways.
Yeah, I think I actually stopped watching Umbrella Academy when that happened. Like, I got through the end of that season, and I was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah. Anyways. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our show, and this is the last show of 2025. The next show will potentially be on New Year's Day. Zealeus and I will try to work out the logistics of that. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure getting everything from our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back in 2026.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the new year.
Amen to that, brother.